Welcome to the podcast, a whole brand new season of creativity made easy. I cannot wait to share with you how I get to help creatives know themselves, their process, and their team so that they can create greater things together. Let's get into it. I'm so excited to be back with you on this podcast. If you don't know me, my name is Dustin Peed, creative coach and consultant, and 2025 is going to be an amazing year. I've really appreciated the time off from the podcast. It gave me probably a new appreciation for the podcast as a whole. I'm excited about the content that we have planned for this year. I've already planned out all of the first quarter's content. So there's a lot of exciting updates I want to share with you. So we're just going to dive right in today to what all that is. First off, I'm super excited with some of the updates that I've made to our website. And then we also have some really cool social media updates rolling out. But even probably the most noticeable right now would be the update to our newsletter. I've moved away from Substack, which I've been on for the past 2 or 3 years, and Substack has been amazing. I've really enjoyed my time there and just trying to streamline all of my content kind of management from one place. And so you might notice a little bit of an update to the look and feel of the newsletter each week, but I'm excited for the opportunity that it gives us to be able to share resources easier for you and any of your creative endeavors. And so a lot of really cool stuff like that coming out, more resources being built, more free resources for you and your teams that I cannot wait to share with you. One thing I'm focusing on, or I guess two things I'm focusing on this year is more coaching and more speaking. The consulting side of things has been amazing. 2024, the consulting side of the business really just blew up. And it's been really, really fun to dive into with my clients. And if you're one of those listening, I'm so appreciative of you. It's been an amazing journey, and I can't wait to continue that journey with you this year. But we're going to really kind of put the pedal down as well on this coaching and speaking opportunities for myself. And I'm excited to announce that in 2025, I already have one speaking engagement lined up. I'll be back at the SALT conference this year. It is in Nashville, Tennessee, just south of Nashville, Tennessee, in Brentwood. But that is October 8th through the 10th, I believe. Leading a brand new workshop there that I cannot wait to share with you. So definitely go to the SALT conference website. I believe it's salt2025.com. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's what it is. Check that out. Go ahead and get registered there. Bring yourself and your team. It's going to be an amazing creative conference for all who attend. I'm working on another conference to speak in that same month, actually, that I can't wait to share more details with you about. And yeah, I'm just looking for more speaking opportunities. So if you or your team would love for me to kind of speak to you in person or virtually about any of the topics that we cover here on the podcast or on the newsletter or the blog or any of those things, anything that has to do with how to make your creativity come to life more efficiently, I would love to speak with you about that opportunity. But coaching this year is going to be super, super fun. I've spent the last probably 5 or 6 months really kind of dialing in my coaching content. And I want to kind of just tease a little bit of that for you today. And at the end, I'm going to offer you a free resource to kind of get you jump started on that journey. So what I've decided is that my coaching, I'm going to split up into 4 phases. Now, a lot of coaching will come and present a timeline. Hey, you do this for 12 months and we're going to guarantee this. I just recognize after working with creatives for over 20 years that timelines for different creatives are very, very different. Just like people are very different, and timelines are very different in every unique scenario, every unique person, every unique team that we work with. And so because every situation is so unique, I've decided to make these phases to have no time bound on them. We are going to stick in each phase of the coaching until we feel like we've got it before we move on to the next phase. One of the early feedback that I got in my coaching was that these are all great things, but I don't think we're quite ready for some of them yet. And I sense that in my clients, and I sense it in myself too, that there's a natural sequence involved here. And so in phase one, we're going to cover several different topics, but one of the most kind of cornerstone frameworks that we're going to hit on is this idea of due dates versus due dates. Now, I know it sounds like I'm saying the same word twice, but it's DO dates versus DUE dates. And the concept here is that many creative people live in the marginless zone of DUE dates. They wake up every day, they look at what they have to do, and everything is DUE that day. And they have no time to get it DONE because it's too late. And so, what the DO versus DUE framework teaches us is a concept in order to work a healthy way to approach your work, in order to work backwards from when it's DUE to actually get it done on or before time. It's really about margin. It's about time margin. Now, I know some people hear this word margin and they think it's financial margin. It can obviously lead to financial margin, but really what we're talking about here is time margin. And so I would love for you to check out the do versus do framework. That's a free resource I'm going to share with you here at the end of the episode. So that's kind of phase one. We'll spend a lot of time on the do versus do, and we'll also talk about this whole future you concept as well. And phase two is where we really start to kind of implement some of these things, and we take it a step further with things like the time and energy audit, or the weekly preview review type of system. Then in phase three, we get into, okay, now how do we replicate? We've had a little success. Now, how do we replicate that over and over again? And that's where we're going to get into like the urgent and important matrix and how things connect to delegation, right? In phase four, this is where it really comes down to taking care of you as a growing creative leader, and as a growing creative of your business or of your team. And we're going to get into what's super, super important is fuel and renewal days. So creative fuel and renewal days. And so we're going to talk about that in phase four. And we're also going to talk about how to go from maker to manager. Many creatives struggle with that transition, but it is a transition that all of us have to take if we want to scale our creative business and our teams to the greatest maximum capacity. We have to learn to transition from maker to manager, and so I have a lot of great resources to talk to you about that. So I want to give you just one action step today. I'm going to try to make this every podcast episode from here on out, but I want to give you one implementation challenge. I want to invite you to download my free do versus do framework and just pick one project and walk through it and stick to the dates that have been determined through the framework. Stick to the dates to do things that you need to do before they are due. To do things that you need to do before they are due. So to DO them before they are DUE. We're done living in this marginless, stress-filled life of everything is always due and we're always behind, and it's the 11th hour and we're going to do it and it's going to be okay because we've done it before. That's no way to live a life. It's no way to live a creative life. And so I believe that creative abundance comes in the land of margin, and I want to give you that. So go to dustinpeed.com and click on the resources tab, and there you'll see the do versus do framework. You just put in your email address. I'll send it to you immediately, and I would love to chat with you about how to walk through that if you need any help. So the phases this year are going to be a lot of things that we're going to be talking about on this podcast, but it's going to be an amazing season. I have some very special guests lined up that I cannot wait to share with you. So if you'd like to learn more, head on over to my Instagram or to my website. I cannot wait to see you there, and I'll be back next week with a brand new episode. We're going to get targeted and more specific on some of these concepts that I shared today. Cannot wait to talk to you next time on the Creativity Made Easy podcast.